Okay, guys, this is Brandon coming at you again with another trading opportunity in SAM, which is reporting earnings. As I record this in about an hour from now, it's about 3 p.m. Before the 1 hour before the market closes. So I wanted to get you this out as soon as possible. And with SAM trading at all-time highs, what the seasonally weak Q4, which is a seasonally weak earnings season for SAM, what does it have in store? Coupled with heavy insider selling, what is it going to do? It is at all-time highs, seasonally weak, and oh boy, the insiders are selling like crazy. So 13 market moves predicts the following situation. Now, I always go over really quickly these earnings, and to tell you the truth, SAM has been really good about beating earnings, right? EPS and their revenues, even though the revenues come in lighter, they always guide higher. So guidance is very, very important in this situation. Look at their EPS. The only time they missed was pandemic, when the COVID was first a known thing, and so this was given a pass. They actually ramped up higher, and we'll go over those charts really quickly. So realistically, SAM really doesn't follow their earnings, their guidance, and basically what they are doing, and the insider buying and selling activity has a lot to do with it. So when we look at that situation, look at 2020. Oh boy, the insiders are busy selling. Holy cow, okay? $206 million worth. Okay, so in summary, revenue does not matter as much as guidance and seasonality for SAM, and also the insider activity in terms of what they're doing. But you can't ignore this. Do not ignore, okay? Do not ignore this situation. Insiders are selling, and so should you. And the expectations for this beverage stocks are sky high, and food and beverage and entertainment stocks have peaked, and I'm going to show you how that is true. So we know that the previous 2 quarters, it seemed like, SAM was just gapping up 100, 200 points, and it's just going nuts, no matter what kind of crap that they report. And really, how many people are actually drinking this much beer? Right? Damn it. So we still have COVID lockdowns. Nothing's really changed. So we think that this is the quarter that SAM is just going to, flat out sell off. Okay, so let's go over really the earnings situation. We know in a Q3 on October 22nd, they beat EPS, but they gave a light revenue and they guided higher. So what did it do? It gapped up and then ran up another 9%. And Q2 July, they beat revenues and EPS, and they gave a blowout guidance surprise. They said they were chugging on all 4 cylinders and their business couldn't be better. So what happens? They basically gap up a little bit and then run up 18.5% and then just sell off a little bit, but then ultimately goes higher. Q1 on April 22nd, first earnings since this whole pandemic started. And they basically got a pass here. They reported right here, and then they ran up and then ran up higher because their business, well, they weren't going out of business like some of these cruise lines and everything else. And then Q4, February 19, 2020, they missed EPS and beat revenues, and they guided in line. And look at, if they guide in line or they guide lower, they say some crap about their distribution channels are bad, or their acquisition of, they're acquiring something, it's going to crash. And so this is what happened. Of course, when they reported the COVID became an issue all of a sudden, and we had that little mini crash of March. Okay, so let's move right on along. What does food beverage industry ETF PB and J? Okay, there's a PBJ there, and I don't know why J's missing. PBJ is at all-time highs. Okay, and today, they're kind of beginning to show signs of topping. Okay, So there's major accumulation through fiscal year 2020. You can see that there's been a lot of heavy volumes, but the volume has been declining. So the question is, have we peaked? The RSI is at its all-time highs, and usually when it's at extreme levels like this, I mean, we haven't seen that level in ages. So we believe this is the peak, and Sam is going to follow. There's going to be sector rotation, and MACD, yes, it's bullish, but look at the histogram is diverging, okay? And then CCI is at extreme levels and it's overbought and it's churning, okay? And it's stalling, churning and stalling. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go over really quickly the Q4, February 19th, 2020. Okay, what did it do? They reported earnings beat, guidance was light. It's the seasonality, right? I said Q4 is their weakest quarter. If it's going to sell off, it's going to be this quarter. Okay, so they reported decent earnings and then they sold off for about 3 days. Okay, the range on day one was 28.7 points and then day three was 40 points. But we got to remember, this stock is not trading anywhere near where it was in February. It was at $410. This stock is ripe for a fall. Okay, so ripe for a fall. All right, so let's move on to the next one. This is Q4 in 2019. Okay, again, earnings was in line, but they missed revenues, but they gave an upbeat forecast and guidance saying that everything is just peaches. And by the way, this was, Sam was selling off and then it kind of bottomed here after the earnings report. It ran up. So this is at the bottom of its range. Right now, we are talking about all-time highs. So we do not believe this will be the case. Okay, so let's move right on along. Okay, let's look at Q4, February 21st, 2018. Look at this. Okay, I'm telling you, this is the weakest quarter. Earnings met consensus, but they gave weak guidance and range on day one. Remember, in 2018, this was a $190 stock. Dang it, how did it get so big in terms of the price? But anyways, it's a one-day trade. You got to find the top of the range, which wouldn't be hard. It would open and then it probably try to run up, fill this gap from the previous day's close. And then we got this nice 24-point pop to the downside. So keep shorting this, short this pig, okay? Now Q4, February 22nd, 2017, same situation. Q4 is weak. Mild beat in earnings with inline guidance. Guess what happens? Market no likey, right? It basically sells off 12.25. But look at what they're trading at, $166 3 years ago. Okay, it is at all-time highs. I'm telling you right now, if you don't short this, this is going to be a big travesty and sadness that comes over the 13 market moves community. All right, let's look at the daily technical picture. This is from yesterday when I made the chart, okay? And it's kind of hovering somewhere here. It's at all-time high in resistance. The only way down is to the downside, okay? We believe that it's going to stall here. Whatever they report, it's going to come down. RSI is topped and it's diverging to the downside. Look at it. We're beginning to get the sell volume that takes precedence, okay? This is the highest it's going to be, okay? Some of you might say, well, this is a bull flag. Bullshit. It's not going to be that way, okay? CCI is diverging. It's ready to break down and then start creating some selling pressure. So RSI is diverging and stalling near its all-time highest ranges. It's near the high end of the Bollinger Band. It's above all moving averages. However, okay, I'm telling you right now, this thing is out of gas. Okay, so let's move on into the weekly. Okay, so weekly. So the technical picture, same thing, except more pronounced, right? We can see that RSI is really have diverged and it's peaked, right? Guess what? Every time on the weekly it hits the upper channel of these Bollinger Bands, guess what happens? More often than not, it sells off. Okay, this one went here and then just kind of moved sideways, but it didn't go higher. It sells off. What do you think's going to happen? I think that this is so overloaded that we basically get a pretty significant sell-off, and hopefully there's an entry for you all for tomorrow. Okay, so it is ripe for a pullback, okay? If Jesus came back and there is rapture tomorrow, this thing may still pull back, okay? So that's what I think about it. So let's real quickly move over to what's happening with the stock. Let's look at the 1-minute chart live, okay? So we're right here, okay? This is Sam. Oops. Okay, so this is Sam, and I want to tell you, this thing has hit the all-time highs of 1204.6 today, right around maybe 2:30 p.m. And now it's beginning to just kind of top out. Okay, again, looks like a bull flag. However, this is the top, guys. Okay, the volume isn't there, and basically we're all waiting for the massacre that's ready to come after the earnings are reported. So short the crap out of this. Okay. So we're back to the screen for the weekly. Okay, so we looked at the 1 minute. It has basically hit the all-time highs today. This is the top, guys. And so when they report earnings tomorrow morning, if there's a little pop, you got to short that pop. Okay, so basically this is what we think. Now, Sam only provides monthly standard options, but you know what? This is the monthly options expiration week. So perfect. Okay, we're going to get the most perfect premium situation. Based on price action and technical analysis, Sam is setting for a major correction. I don't know why these are missing J's, but there's supposed to be a J there. Sam generally, historically, will rebound 2 to 3 days post bad earnings day price action. So basically, you know, if you made a lot, don't be a pig. Just sell after day one, okay? Or if you want to hold on and you think there's more downside, I think there may be, then you do what you need to do. Q4 is seasonally weak for Sam, okay? It is weak, okay? I can't stress that enough, okay? And we are trading at near all-time highs. And on the weekly, I showed you the pattern in which it's hitting the upper end of the Bollinger Band and it pulls back. That's what's going to happen. So earnings, revenue, and EPS doesn't really matter for this stock. Guidance is more favored, but also seasonality. And insiders are selling, man. They're selling like pigs. Okay, so here's how to trade. On February 19th, short the pop even if it gaps down and then you don't feel like there's any further move down. Further from the truth. Even if it gaps down like 55, 60, 70 points, let it pop a little bit. If there isn't a pop, then short it. First thing in the morning, okay? Trading range, we think, is going to be about 85 to 135 points. Market's pricing in about a 119.5 point move. So the IV is a little bit inflated, but it's not that bad. Hey, you do what you want. If you want to front run this, it's up to you. I don't recommend it. Okay, you short the bounce and hold for 1 day and get the hell out at the lowest end of the range. If you want to learn more about how to do this, click the link below and find out about what puts to use and what strike ranges and how we come up about these ranges. Click the link below, schedule a 20-minute consultation with our senior traders. Okay, all right. Hey, no time to waste. I talked enough. Go out there, let's kick some ass on Sam. Okay, good luck, everybody. Thank you.